So, hello everyone, and today I'm going to take a look at my Zetas. Um, is there a particular reason? Not really, I'm just kind of bored and I don't really know what to do. I'm also procrastinating, have an important assignment, an important project that's due pretty soon, but don't want to think about it right now, so I'm going to take a look at my Zetas, because that's how adults deal with their problem, isn't it? And I'm gonna take a look at my first 20 Zetas. So these are the first ones I ever got, and I'm gonna take a look, see if they stack up. And as you can see, I am obsessive compulsive. I love making whatever these things are called, spreadsheets. I have Google Docs, all kinds of stuff, and I recorded all of my Zetas. This one is just the icons because I thought it's cool to have a collection. It just looks cool, all of them together. But in Zeta 1, I also see what exactly they are, and I have my own tiers listed. And I'm going to start in sequential order from 1 to number 20. So first of all, we have Inspiring Through Fear. This was my first Zeta. This is Darth Vader's leadership, and it's many people's first Zetas as well. You can use it for a lot of things. You can use it to solo the Rancor, you can solo the tank with it. Also, I'm pretty sure that method wasn't found when Zetas first came out. And, well, it's not super useful right now anymore. You don't usually run Darth Vader under a Emperor Palpatine lead. But back in the days, the Darth Vader lead with the Zeta was actually the meta. You can run Palpatine under him. There's obviously Short Trooper, Tarkin, other Empire slash Sith characters, Nihilus. But the star under Vader lead was TIE Fighter Pilot. TIE Fighter Pilot was and still is the fastest character, base speed wise, in the whole game. And you open up with this AoE, get some, ability block, get some buff immunity, and you also remove some turn meter. It was an awful RNG fest, but it's what kept me sort of in the meta. But then Zeta Maul became meta. I was like, oh, that didn't really work out well. Barris was awful when she came out. I mean, the Zeta was amazing, but that's why it was awful. Recovered 20% max health when critically hit. It was an awful timeout meta. If you pair Barris and Fives in the same team, you're messed up. And you do not want to pair. A lot of people think that Barris and General Kenobi and Fives work really well, but that's just not true. Because when Fives has critical hit immunity, he's not going to heal. So you can just attack him, get his make sure he gets critical hit immunity and just burn Fives down. It's usually good to run General Kenobi with other characters. I mean, you can do it, but not under General Kenobi lead, because General Kenobi lead is what allows Fives, because it's a tank, to taunt every time he uses a special, which is not very good, but Barris is still very useful. I was running her under my First Order team for a little bit, but now she's going to be going to my Galactic Republic team, or probably C-3PO will, but we'll see about that. The third one, Agility Training, is not very good anymore. As you can see right now, I have it under D. The foresight is good, the offense is good, the extra speed always helps, but it was just consider Bastard lead or Revan lead or even Grandmaster Yoda lead. They are all just way too powerful. Qui-Gon Jinn is still a okay character, but the leadership Zeta is not really worth it. I used it to good effect. Made me get through 9B hard for the Short Trooper node. And that's about it. That's the only use I got out of him. I sometimes run him in in Grand Arena, but not really. Outrage, similar story. Kylo Ren is amazing. Still has an amazing character, but now more as a turn meter boost rather than pure damage, and his survivability is going to be fine, especially under a Zeta crew lead. So Outrage is good, but it's not amazing anymore. You can't use him to solo phase 1 with tank raid anymore because they changed the escape mechanics, unfortunately. Ghost Company Commander is quite trash right now, although with the new Geonosis TB coming out, clones may get a rework. I Zeta him. When I Zeta him, it was completely worth it because it was very helpful in getting me and my guild across to finish the heroic tank. It's amazing in phase 2 and phase 4, so I don't regret it whatsoever, but in this day and age it's not very useful. R2 number crunch, and actually both of R2's uniques are amazing. I still have them under A. The amount of stats you get, protection, offense, max health, and potency is absolutely worth it. 100%. And R2 is just so versatile. You can run him under Galactic Republic, you can run him under Rebels, Resistance. It's gonna work. Similar story as Commander Luke. Terran gains 10% turn meter, and other allies can have that amount. That's just amazing. Turn meter boost for the whole team and not in a leadership ability. This is just absolutely amazing. Learn Control, this is what I got for one of those free Zetas. It's like, I'm using Commander Luke, might as well just give it. It's not the best thing ever, but it really helps with survivability. The 100% tenacity is really good because when he resists, out here, under It Binds All Things, whenever he resists detrimental effects, he recovers protection. So Learn Control works really well with It Binds All Things. It's not as good as that unique, but it's still good. I don't regret it. Ebb and Flow gives counter chance, tenacity. It's solid Zeta. More importantly, Thrawn is just an amazing character. You could use this Zeta to solo phase 3 of the tank raid back in the days, but right now, obviously, there's many better choices. It's alright. Thrawn is a great character, so Zeta's not going to be terrible, but still. Next up, Lord of Hunger, and which is a similar thing to Thrawn. Nihilus, like Thrawn, is an incredible character. Health down helps him with his force drain, but in a Triumvirate versus Triumvirate mirror match, it's going to be more of a liability because it's going to trigger the opponent's Dark Nihilus. But all in all, it's still a very solid Zeta. Into the Fray with Jin. It's not a great Zeta. I did it for my guild for the TB. It helped us get all 45 stars in light side territory battles, so I don't regret it whatsoever. But it's not the best. It's not the best Zeta ever. A full Rogue One team will still get soloed by Nest. Unfortunately, there's many ways to go through them. They have solid survivability, but there's no offense. Next up is General Veer, so this is not long after the Imperial Troopers rework. And at first, we were all pretty underwhelmed by the rework, but later on we found out this is amazing. I have another B because he's not meta. He's not, one of the best teams in arena and raids, all that stuff. But he's very, very good. Gets the troopers to become the Terminator train we know. Just tier through Night Sisters, tier through Bounty Hunters, tier through so many teams. It's just very, very solid. Not meta, but still amazing. Next up, Han shoots first. I was kind of ambivalent about this at first, but if you know the mechanics, attacking for a second time, even though it was half damage, it's basically going to double his damage on its basic. It's very solid, amazing in raids, completely indispensable in a Commander Luke Skywalker team. Is absolutely an A. Can solo the entire Rancor raid with it, which is not news really anymore, but it was back in the days. Well, see, it's a long time before I gave Commander Luke his Zeta, and then I gave Han his Zeta. But it's still very, very, very good. One of the best. You need to have this Zeta. Obviously, in phase 3 of the Sith raid, it's still amazing. Inspirational Presence. It took me a long time to actually gear up Rey because I was doing something out at the time I don't even remember. But this ability was once meta. All that turn meter train is very good. Still amazing. I'm mainly using her in phase 1 of the Sith raid. She also sees a lot of use in territory wars, territory battles, Grand Arena, and all that. And being a hero's journey character, there's definitely going to be longevity. Second Zeta you need for a raid team would obviously be BBA. Again, I use this in arena. And it's amazing. Calls a random resistance ally to assist. So you use Ray's big move, calling BB-8, and then calling someone else, or whenever BB-8 just naturally counters, again calls another ally to assist. It's great for a Ray team. It's great for phase 1 of the Sith team, Sith Ray. R2, I don't know if a combat analysis should be B, but I feel like it should be an A actually, so just change that. While R2 is active, whenever light side allies scores a critical hit, spell all debuffs on them. Amazing. In a Ray team in Sith phase 1, excuse me, because you want to keep debuffs off your resistance characters so they can keep reducing their cooldowns from Ray's leadership. And amazing in a Commander Luke team because they'll just counter and cleanse all of their debuffs. It's very, very important. Not essential, not required, but amazing nevertheless. Next up, Ventress. So this is where you see we are talking about going into the Sith raid. Turn meter reduction chances is for phase 4 of the Sith raid. It's going to turn into a turn meter train. The reduction is nice, but most importantly, they gain 50% turn meter when falling below 100% health. It's amazing for phase 4. And then again, this one is for phase 2, even though they're no longer the best team in phase 2 by a long shot. But Crew, or Kylo Ren Unmasked, is still an amazing character. The best lead of the First Order turns them into a very solid defensive team. Receives health and protection whenever they gain a status effect, which could be a buff or a debuff. Coming back to Night Sister, because I wanted to get the leadership out of the way first and then go into the uniques. Anytime they're stacking offense, it's amazing. And same with Asajj Ventress, going with a Ventress lead and Night Sister team, no matter where you use it for raids or territory wars, wherever, it's essential. It's an amazing ability. And finally, for number 20, before we go into the second 20, Emperor Palpatine. Whenever a debuff on an enemy expires, Empire and Sith allies gain 5% turn meter. When Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine rework first came out, most people were like, meh, this is not great. And obviously wouldn't be until Scion came out that these people actually became super meta. But back then people also didn't really know to use Vader's saber throw immediately, even if it doesn't guarantee you a kill, in order to get that turn meter running. But either way, Palpatine's lead is amazing. Honestly, any ability that gives you turn meter is amazing. And Emperor Palpatine is still great. If there's talking about counter a Padme team, is there's no C3P on the team, Emperor Palpatine. Going against a Night Sister team, Emperor Palpatine. Going against a Traya team, Emperor Palpatine. Was obviously this is Triumvirate, and I'm sure they missed a bunch. They can counter First Order pretty easily. They can counter Bounty Hunters pretty easily. I will just use an Emperor Palpatine team against Old Republic earlier today in Territory Wars. There's so many uses for them. Emperor Palpatine is amazing. Give him an A, and even though Darth Malak's sort of buff really nerfed him quite a bit, it is still an amazing Zeta ability. So out of these characters, you see most of them A's, close starting from 13, except for B for Crew. B into the fray is not very good, but I needed it for TB, so I don't regret it. My 5th Zeta goes Company Commander. It's a D, it's not great, but I don't regret it because I got us over the tank raid. Outrage as well is used tank raid as well as Squad Arena. This one I kind of regret. Agility training for Qui-Gon Jinn, it's not very good. And I got a tiny little bit of use out of it for Light Side 9D Hard. 9B Hard was the one with the short trooper, whichever one that is. I kind of regret it. And this one is a B, Swift Recovery. I still use it every once in a while. Don't regret it. It's great Zeta. Gonna have a lot of longevity. Inspiring Through Fear, it's not great, but Vader has an amazing ship, so that's gonna be worth it just for the ship alone. And I use that leadership for so many things, so I don't regret it whatsoever either. Alright, so these are my first 20. For the next 20, I'm gonna go from 21 to number 40, starting with Wampa and ending with Commander Luke Skywalker. Alright, thank you for watching, and see you next time.